I want to welcome everybody back to the podcast. I am super excited today because we are interviewing Dr. Carrie Graham. And she is going to give us some tidbits that I'm pretty sure you all don't even know that you need. Okay, so we're going to get into some stuff. I know you say, I'm a small business owner. I have just a few employees, or I only have one employee, or, I'm not sure, if I'm going to start needing employees, but what am I going to do when I start having all of these people working for me? Well, today we're going to talk about some training and development, because if your people are not properly trained, they're going to be all over the place. And being all over the place is not where you want your business. So, Dr. Graham, thank you so much for speaking with me today and visiting with me today. I think this is going to be good.
Absolutely, Jessica. Thank you it's such an honor to be with you and to share some insights with your listeners. But one situation you failed to mention that I want people to think about, is this me, is you may not have a team, or it may just be you, or it's my sister, it's my cousin, it's my mama that's helping me. You still, even if they were with you when the idea came to mind, if this is your business, you cannot put it off any longer. You have to listen to this conversation.
Oh, that is so good. That is so true, because we're all out here and people are pitching in where they can. So that is absolutely true. Thank you for that one. So for y'all in the back that thought this wasn't going to be for you, this one's for you too.
I'll be gentle.
So let's get started.
Yeah.
What inspired you to even get into this field? Because it's not, I know of someone years ago that I worked with who was in training and development, and it was kind of weird how she got into it. So how did you get into it?
Yeah, I actually was educated as a healthcare provider. And in order to maintain my board certification, I had to get continuing education units. But after like 5 years of going to my national conference, I started getting bored, and the trainings, the conferences were not like it. I felt like it was the same thing. And as my skill set and my knowledge grew and evolved, those conferences weren't doing the same. And so as I continued in my career, I would, like, for different things, I would go to various trainings, as I'm sure many you, Jessica, or your listeners have gone to, and you think, this is trash, right? Like, let's just call it what it is, right? Like this, I could have saved my money. I could have stayed at home, or it was exciting to see this celebrity on the stage and hear them encourage me. But now I go home and I don't know how to implement what they were presenting. And so I realized that I can't be the only person having this experience. Fast forward, it's a pervasive problem, is that training, the development of trainings across all work environments, whether it's for the solopreneur or whether it's for a global corporation, they oftentimes are not done well, and they don't achieve the outcomes that they want.
Now, you call yourself a learning solutions architect.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that means and what a learning solutions architect would do for a small business?
Yeah. So I chose that specific language because my focus is on helping people build the foundation for your training program. So that's the architect piece. Now, I will say many people think about training as, oh, it's all about me. I have all this knowledge to share. And you might, or I have all this content to get people to know, which is probably true. But learning isn't a you thing. So I always tell people, I want everyone to lean in. It's not about you. I always tell people it's not about you. It's about the learner. And so let's figure out some solutions for their learning.
Mhm.
And that happens not through a hack, not through AI, not through a tip sheet. It happens through creating a clear structure for your business,
Mhm.
not for someone else's business, but for your business. So my focus is around building learning around the learner.
Okay. Now, it's true that learning for, when you talk about learning, I think most people start thinking about children and going to school, but
Yeah.
the adult learner is different. And when you talk about children, even children's learning styles are different. When
Mhm.
you are training an adult, what type of differences do you see there, but from adult to adult?
Yeah. So the beauty of working with adults is the highest level of our brain isn't fully it's called the executive system of our brain, and it doesn't fully develop until mid to late 20s. That's why early 20-year-olds still make dumb decisions, right? Ultimately, that's what it is, right?
Mhm.
But the thing about adults is we have so much life experience
Mhm.
that we then connect to what we're going to learn right now. We have very strong opinions about what we're going to learn, why we're going to learn it, to the level at which we learn something. Children don't have that. They are truly an empty slate. And if you approach or present a training to an adult, but you're thinking about them in terms of a child, like, oh, well, they don't know anything about how to build this widget,
Mhm.
right? They might not know how to build this widget, but at some point they've built this widget. And so you can't ignore that. And that's the part about adult learning that I absolutely love and appreciate is we all bring something to the table. And if you want your learners to actually get it and then apply it, develop those skills,
Mhm.
you have to frame things for that individual, not for a child.
So, training your staff is extremely important. We
Yes.
know that it is because we have all been to McDonald's when we've questioned whether the person at the front was trained or not. Um, so we
That's
know,
real. That's
like
real.
we as consumers, we know it's important, but once you become, the small business owner and you already know that money is tight, in your mind, you think of it as an investment, but how does employee training actually save companies money in the long run?
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's such a great question with different elements. So let's start with the financial part of it first and work our way backwards. So, one of the things that happens every time there are multiple reasons why training saves you money. So, let's assume that you don't train your team. You don't train your staff, no matter how big or how small. The first thing that's going to happen is they're going to make mistakes. Mistakes cost money. No, even if it's spilled water on the floor, that's time, and time is money. So they're going to cost you money from mistakes. There is a turnover rate. So if you feel like you have to keep firing and hiring because they're not doing what I want them to do,
Mhm.
part of your solution is through training, but the cost of hiring people is high. And that's why there's this recommendation in business to retain your team. It's because it's too expensive to keep hiring them. And the last thing is inefficiency. And so instead of um, any level of inefficiency, so if your team is taking extra steps
Mhm.
to accomplish a task, that's inefficient work and it costs you money ultimately. It costs you money. So that's how those are one of the reasons or one of the ways in which training can save you money because you train to retain your staff, you train them so that they do the thing you want them to do confidently, accurately, and consistently. It's so important. Now, I want to use that example,
Mhm.
confidently, consistently, and accurately, to what you just said about any I don't want to say fast food. I don't want to throw fast food under the bus, but
Right.
any service industry, right?
Mhm.
Regardless of whatever the service is. There are some organizations, well, I will name this one, Chick-fil-A, regardless of how you feel about them.
Mhm.
Every Chick-fil-A you go to, no matter what part of the state you go to, you are going to get the same service.
Mhm.
You can bet the house on it. You're going to get the same service.
Mhm.
And it's because as an organization, they've strongly invested in training their employees for consistency, accuracy, and confidence.
Mhm.
But outside of that, when you go to other places and you're like, I went up to the front desk and that so and so had a trash attitude, training.
Mhm.
It goes back to training.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I've had this conversation with my mom almost every time we go out to eat.
Yep.
When you go to a restaurant, we have a running joke. When we go to a restaurant and the food was amazing,
Hmm.
service was perfect,
Yep.
everything was awesome, and we come out and go, "Yep, not going to be able to go back there for 6 months."
Yep.
Because our thing is if we go consistently, they're not going to be consistent. We need to give them time to start to mess up and then get better again. And that means that that restaurant is going to miss out because if we don't go back for 6 months, it's not like we're not eating out for 6 months. So you've
Right.
lost our
Revenue.
money because
Yep.
we're not sure that you're going to be able to maintain that consistency.
Right. And honestly, to that point, for people in service, sometimes, so as consumers, sometimes we're willing to pay for a slightly lesser quality of product. Like the food isn't the greatest, but the service, oh my gosh, the people in there, they just make me feel so great.
Right.
People pay for that.
Mhm.
And so when you think about, oh, I don't need to invest in my training, you do. Now, I'm a proponent of bringing an expert, but I recognize not everyone is there yet. And so I have some recommendations on what people can do when it's just you and your cousin and your sister in the back of the house or in the garage trying to make it work.
Right. Right. So
Mhm.
before we get there, how would someone know that they like what's a good sign that says, okay, I need to start implementing some training in my business, no matter the size of the business?
Okay. Awesome question. If it's only you, and let's say it will forever only be you,
Hmm.
right? Like you are seamstress. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Even in that case, you still want to document your process.
Hmm.
And the reason you document the process, even for yourself, is so that the quality is consistent, right? Like I do things all the time. And like if I'm ironing something, like, oh, I forgot I needed to fold this shirt over in this particular way to get the crease the way I want it, right?
Hmm.
So if it's just you, just document every single process that you have. You can do it with a pencil and a piece of paper.
Hmm.
Now, if you have a team, the same holds true. You want there to be consistency person to person. So, how are you making the food? How
Hmm.
are you greeting the customers? What steps are you taking? And that way, if someone forgets, or if someone leaves and you have to hire or bring in someone new, or even if it's just you're a parent who's willing to say, hey baby, I'm gonna support you. You don't have to pay me anything, I'll do it. What do you want me to do?
Yep.
If they say, what do you want me to do? Instead of you trying to remember,
Hmm.
or instead of you having one of your other employees or another volunteer try to explain all the steps, if you just pull out your paper with the processes on it, you've guaranteed I'm close to 100% consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
it doesn't matter.
also, I just thought about this with contractors and consultants. So, like, if you bring on a marketing company,
Yes.
you need to have your processes together so
Yes.
that they
Yes.
know if they're writing something, they're writing in your voice.
Absolutely.
Or, if you bring on a virtual assistant, they may
Yes.
work for a different company. They don't necessarily work for your company, but you
Yep.
still want them to do things your way.
Absolutely. And the thing to that is your service should never be interrupted based on the person providing the service. And the same holds true for production, right? So if you're selling a thing, if you're making baskets or you're making floral arrangements to sell, I shouldn't, if I'm going to buy it, I shouldn't know, ooh, cakes. I think that's even better. As a purchaser, I shouldn't know, well, that cake was made by Jessica, but I could look at that one. And even though it's Cakes by Jessica, she didn't make that cake. That should not, a customer should never be able to tell you didn't have your hand on the thing. And that's why training is so important. It is, people overlook it. The danger of saying, I'll get to it when I get bigger is, okay, you're bigger. We are so excited for you, but now you have so many processes, and now you've got to take time away from the business to figure out and document and manage and vet and refine to make sure, oh, I missed that one thing in the process to build the training. And so if you do it from today, like, just start while we're talking, while you're listening to this, get a piece of paper, get a pencil. You don't have to do it all at once, but just start documenting every single thing. You can video record it now. And, if the AI can transcribe, or you can just say the words and have it transcribed. There's so many easy ways to document, but it is so important that you document it so that you know what to train others on.
Right. Speaking of AI, in the world, I usually say in the world of business, but I'm not even going to say that anymore. In the world, things are moving so rapid right now. You've got people working hybrid. You've got people working at home. You've got AI coming in and taking over the world. I mean, what was that Monday? The company came out with home robots that they're actively selling, and you can actively purchase for $20,000 or make payments of $395 a month.
Right.
And apparently it can fold clothes. I said, well, does it fold clothes like a man, or does it fold clothes? Because if you're just going to put something together and throw it, that's not helping me.
That's not what we're doing.
I
We don't want
actually
that.
want it
We
folded,
don't need
right.
that. Right. We don't need that. We don't need that.
But with all of this change coming, how have you seen things change in the industry of learning and development? Have these technologies and everybody being hybrid, has it made it difficult on one end and easy on the other, or how have you seen things change?
All of that and everything in between, honestly, because they're, with the initial onset of AI as we know it right now in the last 2 to 3 years or so, there was this, oh, this thing is coming, and they're the early adopters and who are just getting in and understanding the lay of the land. And then there were some, like, the next wave of adopters, and those individuals were really, oh, AI can solve all things. And I honestly, Jessica, I believe that is where it's going to take, people are going to lose their jobs, like where that narrative came from, because there was this perspective of it can do all of the jobs. Now, I was not an early adopter because I was really concerned about the ethics behind it, right? And now that I have adopted and I'm on the path with the masses,
Mm,
one of the things that I was and I can remain to be concerned and diligent about is you have to have solid infrastructure first,
mhm,
and AI in and technology. Let me back all the way up. Technology of any form simply supports the structure and the foundation.
mhm,
If you do not have a good recipe, it doesn't matter that you have the latest and greatest oven, that you have the most expensive utensils, if you don't have a quality recipe. So the technology, AI, it cannot, and please hear me when I tell you all this. I think this might be the first time that I sit on my high horse and say, I have a PhD in adult learning and workplace learning, people. AI is not the ultimate solution. It is an added bonus. It truly can do a lot to support your efforts. Just like I said 2 minutes ago, it can help transcribe. And if your arm hurts because you're not accustomed to writing anymore, that's fine, but you have to give it the information and it will transcribe it for you. It can then put it in a nice, clean order. But if you're not taking the time to focus on the structure, the foundation, the framework, whatever you want to call it, it's not, your training is not going to work.
mhm.
It's not. You're going to be at the same place in a year from now. And that's the reality of it. That is the honest reality of it. And people are seeing that and
Mhm.
recognizing that in the field. And so those are the conversations that people
Mm,
are having. It's how can we use AI ethically?
mhm.
And then how can we use it in a way that truly supports learning?
Yeah. And so I'm going to sit back because, like you said, you have a PhD. Nobody listens to me. I don't have a PhD. I only have a little master's, but I'm going to let a PhD talk because y'all don't listen to me when I speak.
Right. I
I'm
mean,
going
it's at what level
to,
are you going to listen? Right. So, I hate to throw people under the bus, but I'm going to do it. Right. For all of those who
yeah.
still smoke. Okay. Somebody told you, your doctors have said, stop smoking.
Mhm.
The attorney general has said, stop smoking. States have taxed cigarettes to say, stop smoking. So, but you want to keep smoking? It's the same thing. You can listen to the podcast. You can listen to Jessica. You can or ignore. You can ignore all of the information. You can ignore me, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you're going to be in the same situation.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly. It's I've been in tech long enough that AI is new to most people on the planet. AI is
Right.
not new to tech people. Like
Right.
I've known about it. Like nobody remembers Watson, IBM's Watson.
Yeah.
And Watson went on Jeopardy, and people still don't remember
I
Watson.
remember.
He
I do
was the
remember that.
original AI. Although I
Yeah.
did ask ChatGPT if he was related to Watson, and he was like, "No, he's like my old school cousin, and I'm like the new, younger, hipper, cooler cousin." I said, "Oh, not you having a
Not the
oh,
shade. Not the
right?"
shade.
I'm like, he came so that you could be okay, young buck. So
Absolutely.
sit down. But
Absolutely. And you know that I love that you just said that, right? Like we came so that people can be.
yeah.
I came
Mhm.
25 plus years plus the PhD so that I can share it. Like I don't need to hold on to it. God allowed me to have it and I want to gift it. The
Mhm.
same holds true for you, Jessica.
Mhm.
You came through the trials of being in the tech industry and entrepreneurship so that you can be and give to others.
Mhm.
So this again, if people aren't sold by now, we're what, 24, 25 minutes in.
Right.
If people have listened this far and they're not convinced, that we're here to support you.
Yep.
We are here to not say you're doing it wrong and you're shame you, but rather be prepared. There's a better way. And you don't have to go through the mistakes that we went through when we're here to offer the recommendation, I should say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me round it out and ask you this. For those entrepreneurs who are like, yeah, you sold me, you got me, but I don't even know where to begin.
Mhm.
How can people get started with even wrapping their brain around what needs to be documented? Who would need to be trained on what? Should I cross train? Like, how do they know what to do now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm going to offer this. So it's not a shameless plug because
Hmm.
I'm giving. So if you go to my website,
Mhm.
drdrcarriegraham.com, I have placed blogs. So I would say twice, 2 to 3 times a month, I write an article. And it's based on conversations like this that I have, or questions that people ask me on LinkedIn or in passing. Wherever you are in the process, read the blogs, like go through and look at them, and that will help give you some guidance.
Mhm.
I am also, there is also on my website um, some downloadables that you can look at as a guide, and they're all free,
Mhm.
right? Like I've produced them over and over again. It is a gift. It is a gift. So that free information can get you started. Let me back up and say, I caution you of Chat GPT, can you tell me X, Y, and Z? Let me Google X. Ooh, this person used a hack. Ooh, here, those are like a band-aid.
Mhm.
And the band-aid isn't fixing the problem. So I want to encourage you, everything that I've written, it has been founded on research and theory, but it's practical. So there's that level of it.
Mhm.
If you then say, okay, I've been at my business for a little bit, I got a couple people, I'm ready to make a small investment.
Mhm.
So for a lower price, what I'll do is I'll sit with you
Mhm.
and I will ask you, you don't have to prepare anything. I will ask you a number of questions and I will take notes, and then I will provide you with a report of what your next step should be.
Mhm.
And you can find that on my website as well. And so there's every level on
Mhm.
my website of support that you can get, because I want people to retain their employees that are doing well.
Right.
I want you to be successful as a business owner, but in order to maintain your success, you're going to need help, whether it's with employees or with a training.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
I want to be the person to help you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to second that motion.
Mhm.
If you all are going out there and you're going to Chat GPT and asking, how do I fill in the blank in my business?
Mhm.
The way Chat GPT works, the way AI works, is it has to be taught
Yeah.
before it can produce answers.
Anything.
And
Yep.
so if you're not adding in the details and the information that it needs to give
Mhm.
you a specific answer, it's going to give you a generic answer. And that
Right.
generic answer is going to screw your business up. So
Absolutely.
if you
If
have
you don't know, Jessica, let me say this. If
Mhm,
you don't even know what to give it,
that,
like that's the danger of it, is you're asking it, and you're totally right. You got
mhm,
to ask it the right questions. But if you don't even know that you got this problem over there because you're too close to it and can't see it,
mhm,
like you said, you're screwing your business.
right. And now is the time to ask a professional, because
Mhm.
y'all know me over here, we don't wing it. We're going
Mhm.
to, if we know who to ask, we're going to ask that person.
Yeah.
So I have provided you an expert. Now you will go ask the expert.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. Like, it's not, I am mindful that when you're starting your business, you have to decide invest in my business or pay my bills, invest in my business or put food on the table. That is real.
Yeah.
I've been there. That is real. And I don't ever want to ignore it. And that is why I put stuff on my website. That is why I'm a guest on podcasts, because I don't want anyone to have to make that hard decision of, I can't invest in my business because I don't have the money. You know what? And every time I create something or I talk to someone, I try to leave a nugget of help
Mhm.
so that you can walk away and know what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you have left a ton of nuggets here, and we are so grateful to you for them.
Yes.
I'm going to
Um,
ask you one last question.
yeah. Yeah.
Of all the things that you've done in your career, what would you say is one lesson that you've taken with you this whole time and has really made a difference for you?
Mm, that's a that's a deep question. I would say sort of like I said previously, is it's not about you. Like,
Mhm.
I say it jokingly, but the truth of the matter is, from a training development perspective, like, I really want people to recognize you have to care about the learner.
Mhm.
Care about your employees. If you, even if you can't pay them a high wage, if you show them that you care enough to train them to be successful, that you provide them with other opportunities to grow professionally, they will stay with you and be committed. And so I learned that lesson over my life of experiencing and watching others not being invested in.
Mhm.
And so I know the pain of when an employer doesn't invest in me. Um, but on the other side of it, I know the joy, like the overabundant joy of being invested in and then investing in others. And I've got to see, like my clients in particular, I get to watch and be a part of their growth, with them learning new techniques and like, oh, okay, Carrie, I need to just always focus on this part of my training. Like, that brings me so much joy because it's a reminder of all that I went through, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm offering it as a gift to someone else. And they are going, in turn, they are going to gift it to someone else. And that brings me a joy that is, it is just like the good Lord could take me. And I know that I have done what He's called me to do, because it is an incredible sense of joy.
Ah, I love that. I love the fact, I love meeting people who share my love for taking people to the next level,
Mhm.
for sharing what you know. Because if everybody, there's 8 billion people on the planet, and we all know something completely different.
Yeah.
If we put all of our knowledge in the hopper together, I mean, can you
Yeah.
imagine what we could do? I mean, look what we've done so far.
Yeah.
We put people on the moon. We're
Yeah.
looking at Mars next. Like, it's really cool that we're able to take all of our knowledge and collectively move the world forward. And I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. It really is beautiful. And my mother, I heard my mother tell someone something one time. It wasn't me, but it was someone else. But
Mhm.
she said, I don't care what you do with your life. If you want to be a dog walker, you be the best dog walker you can be. If you want to dig a ditch, be the best ditch digger that ever existed. And that has always stuck with me, that it doesn't matter what you choose to do to either support yourself or to bring joy to your, it doesn't matter. Do it to the best of your ability, because other people, you will succeed and you will benefit,
Mhm.
but so will other people as well. And we are not on this earth to hold our talents and our gifts to ourselves or only use them when they can make us $1.
Right.
Like, that's not how it works. How it works is when you give, when you learn, and what you, as you said, Jessica, what you learn, you give unto others.
Mhm.
All right, real talk, it'll put money in your pocket, but it will also exponentially
Mhm.
provide goodness to others as well.
Yep.
So you don't have to hide it. You don't have to
Mhm.
like keep it under wraps, and you don't have to cheapen it by
Mhm.
making it a hack. You
Right.
do not have to do that.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. This has
Yes.
been so awesome. I'm going to put all of your contact information in the show
Yes.
notes below the video, and folks will be able to get in contact with you. I
Yeah.
would love to have you back on sometime in the new year to talk a little bit more.
I would love it. I would be honored. I would be honored to get people to kick off the new year with some clear focus. I would be honored to do that with you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you again. I think this was a good one.